Welcome to the Scottish Mini Cooper Cup here, the Celtic Speed Mini Cooper Cup, and here we go at sunny Knockhill. The return of Chris Reid, Adam Morrison in the back row of the grid, but Robbie Dalgleish is on pole position, and alongside him, Mark Garrity. The two cars we're looking at, the red lights start to come on the bridge, so we're about to go racing. Full complement of lights, lights out very quickly, and a big wheel spin for Robbie Dalgleish. That's going to hurt his drive down to the hairpin already. He has to cover the inside line, because here comes Mark Garrity and Michael Weddle side by side in towards the hairpin for those two guys as they go through the hairpin. A little bit of bumping and barging on the way out of the corner. Now, did they run each other off the track there? Was that happening just out of our sight? There's been a lot of gravel kicked up. Yes, they've disappeared. Into second place comes Craig Blake, and he's got Josh Hislop, Vic Covey Jr. and everybody else, including Chris Reid and Ian Munro, involved in that. So where is Dalgleish? And there's Dalgleish and there's Weddle. So they're almost at the back of the pack. A disastrous first corner for those two guys. Not giving each other racing room, and then finding the gravel trap, killing their momentum out of that corner. Now, we've also lost Hannah Chapman on that. She said Hannah was back racing, and I didn't see Hannah anywhere in that pack. So that's quite a strange one, as we make our way up towards the Beatson's Building Supply Bridge for the first time of asking. Underneath that, and there's a waved yellow flag. Now, is that also? Yes, it is a waved yellow flag and safety car boards. Marshall's now starting to look down the straight. Cameron Bryant in the gravel trap at McIntyre's. So Cameron Bryant, maybe the cause of the safety car. And he gets pushed out the gravel by, look at super strength John Kennedy, the marshal there with his hand on the bonnet. And out comes Cameron Bryant as the pack all make their way down through Clark's. And there's Chappers. Hannah Chapman is in the gravel trap on the entrance to Clark's. Now that's a fast place to go off. And that's rearranged the front end of her little Mini. So that's a disaster for Hannah. Welcoming her back to the championship and into the tyres or the gravel on the first lap. But we're racing again. Safety cars in. And round the hairpin go the Celtic Speed Mini Cooper Cup cars, all running on Yokohama tyres. And Yokohama, a long-term backer of the Scottish Mini Championship as they go in towards Clark Corner. Mark Garrity leads from Craig Blake. So Craig Blake, really, his season has come alive. The switch of teams into Mini-Max has really been the best thing for him. As Weddle, again, on the grass. Michael Weddle not having a very good time of it in this race number one. Finds himself bouncing down the undergrowth there, and he'll be trying to come back to that and get himself back through the grid if he can, because he must get some points here as they make their way up over the crest of the hill for another lap. Blake giving huge pressure to the back of Mark Garrity, and Garrity really has. He's come back to the championship after taking a year out, and him and Bonthorne, the two teammates, they really are fabulous. They're working together so well. It's great to see, and Ian Bonthorne, his racing is benefiting from having a pretty fast teammate. And Garrity knows exactly what he is able to do in a Mini. And he's giving some of that to Ian Bonthorne as these guys going right out to the edge. And Vic Covey just steps over the edge. It's just a little bit too much there as they make their way down the back straight towards the chicane. Everybody else filtering their way through and into the tight twisty part of Knockhill now, which is called McIntyre's. Huge pressure this from Craig Blake on the back of Mark Garrity, but Mark dealing with it, as I said, pretty well. Behind them, Vic Covey Jr. has Ian Munro behind him. Yes, the yellow car. Then Josh Hislop, Chris Reid. We welcome back Chris Reid. It's always good to have a Reid in the mini grid, whether it's Chris or his brother Kyle. Kyle, bit of a serial winner. Chris, a fast man as well, and right at the sharp end all the time when he comes back and up the inside of Hislop. Ooh, breathe in there. Mirrors breathing in as well, as Weddle at the back of that pack goes through quite out of position. And let's see what's happening as they get towards Clark's now. Craig Blake still just sitting in the tyre tracks, and a little bit more off Mark Garrity as they come through there. I held my breath as Craig Blake, you could see he was in a different trajectory going through the corner there, and he was heading out of curb pretty quickly as Vic Covey has a nasty bounce through the chicane there. Neil Methven under pressure from Robbie Dalgleish and Michael Weddle. Methvin sees Dalgleish coming up the inside, stays quite wide. Weddle tries to filter through the same gap and does so as they make their way up over the crest of the hill. The leaders are already at the start line. Such is the pace. The driver warning flag, the black and white diagonal flag, means you've been using either A, too much of the real estate, anything that's been painted green, or you've been removing floppies from the side of the track, which is quite common. So you could probably hold that board out to the entire grid of cars. But that was just for one driver and we didn't see who it was for. Let's have a look at fastest laps of the race so far on our Edinburgh Watch timing screen with smart timing. Fastest man on the track so far is it's actually Craig Blake with that 62.5. So 62.5 to Craig Blake. Can he get any faster? Will anybody get faster? Robbie Dalgleish and Michael Weddle, the two guys battling as they come into chicane. Well, they have been the pace setters, especially after qualifying. It was Robbie Dalgleish, but a terrible start and a bad first lap. You can see the damage down the side of the driver's door and quarter panel on that Mini. And the number 91 car, the rumour around the paddock is it's actually been sold. It's not is for sale, it's been sold. So interesting to find out from Robbie Dalgleish exactly what's happened to that car, where it's going, and I've heard a little rumour about who might be driving that car. That could be pretty interesting for the Celtic Speed Mini Cooper Cup as they come in towards the hairpin. Nice bright sunny skies here at Knockhill Racing Circuit for the anti-clockwise configuration, and Craig Blake is now going to have to make a manoeuvre pretty soon if he wants a win, because homing in behind him he will see the number 17 car of Vic Covey Jr. And Blake has done all his homework. He's using a bit more track than he's to there. He's done all his homework, falling for every lap of the race so far. He needs to do something to possibly get past and get on his way here, as Robbie Dalgleish manages to squeeze. Oh, and then Michael Weddle as well. That was just pretty cheeky. Daniel Patterson there getting not nerfed out the way, but the quick guys definitely with their elbows out coming through as we once again go onto the crest of the main straight. Under the Beatson's Building Supply Bridge we go. Proud sponsors of the bridge here at Knockhill, the Beatson's Building Company. And in towards the hairpin. Craig Blake is now defending from Vic Covey, so he's taken his eye off the man ahead of him, and he's now starting to think about consolidating that second place, which is quite surprising. But Blake wants that second place guaranteed. He wants a win. We know he wants a win, but he will not want Vic Covey Jr. to be sneaking past him at the very end of this race as they come through Clark's. Once again, everybody starting to use a little bit more road as they come down near that exit curb. If it was another 2 foot wider or longer, they'd be using every bit of it. Through goes 21 and 30. That's Ross Wilkinson and Gordon Long. Further back down, we've got Barry Holmes go through. There's Adam Morrison, well off the pace this weekend, surprisingly that. Adam Morrison was a last place qualifier, and we know Adam is faster than that, but it's just not working for him. 64.4, fastest lap of the race for him, as the last lap board goes out now, and the fastest lap of the race has just changed. That has gone to Robbie Dalgleish, and Robbie Dalgleish has just set a new lap record for the anti-clockwise configuration. So Dalgleish is flying, although he's just been done by Weddle, and that was Josh Hislop as well, having a proper good go in towards the hairpin. So Dalgleish being nerfed back a little bit, but very quick towards the end of the race, as is Craig Blake. Craig Blake has managed to get away as Chris Reed gets past Ian Monroe. Craig Blake has managed to drop Vic Covey Jr. off the back of him now, and it's all about Blake and Garrity. Garrity soaking up this pressure that Craig Blake is forcing his way, and Blake will be pretty desperate to try and get past us. There's Weddle ahead of Dalgleish. That's pretty big news. And Chris Reed with Ian Monroe behind him, and then Ian Bunthorne as we come onto the main straight. Underneath the Beatson's Building Supply Bridge we go, over the crest of the hill. It's been a pretty good race. It's been a fabulous race, not pretty good. Garrity wins that one from Blake and Vic Covey Jr. with Reed, Monroe and Weddle all coming through, taking the remainder of the places. And remember, fastest lap of the race, yes, new lap record, car number 91, Robbie Dalgleish.
Well done, Mark. For someone that doesn't like reverse direction, good result getting first position.
Yeah, it's a very strange one. I don't like it, I don't like the way it goes, but it seems to work well. Got a good setup in the car, testing it well yesterday, so no, just put it into practice. Obviously, Robbie and Michael will be coming together into the gravel, so, but no, Craig was doing well there. He's fairly coming on strong and getting up the next step there, but obviously he'll be fighting for that top spot the next race. But no, good, fair, clean race, and I knew where he had his quick points, had to defend a couple of times, and then saw the hard charging Vic coming through, but I think he missed a gear, so he kind of fell back a little bit. But no, I like to come away with a trophy, but also a clean car, so it was clean, fair racing. So taking the next one and try and close, that's a close of the gap. They kind of don't know where Michael and Robbie finished, but it's further back, so we've closed it a bit. Still a big gap to close, but we'll try to the end to try and who knows what can happen in minis. So
yeah, I think you've closed it by about 10 points now to the championship, so you're still within a fight there.
Yeah, still 59 points, so you never know, they're in the mid pack. So no, we'll fight till the end, that's what we'll do, and see where we come at the end of the year.
Good, well done, and see you again race 2 hopefully.
Thanks, Pete.
Well done, Craig. Second position there, another strong finish for you, but you're still in the hunt for your first win.
Nearly had it, but Malik was just putting the defence on the whole race, and fair play to him because it was contact free, it was honest, and yeah, that's how we want to go racing. So no, fair play, and I enjoyed it as well, which is what we're all here to do, is enjoy ourselves. So no, race 2, here we go, it's front row.
And you had Vic Covey creeping up on you near the end of the race there. Did you get a bit of a, oh no?
I seen him in my mirror and I thought, here's Vic, and I heard the Jaws theme tune coming, and I thought, here's Vic, he's coming for me, and he won't, even though I'm his teammate, he won't let me away with it. So it was a bit touch and go, but he missed the gear, I think, out of the hairpin, which gave me and Mike a bit more breathing room, and then we gapped him again, so I'm thankful for that.
Well, hopefully you're on the podium again, or you might get that illustrious first win.
Let's not jinx it.
Okay. Thanks, Craig. So Vic, third place finish there for you. A good result and a nice move round the outside of Josh at the hairpin.
Yeah, top of the morning to you, Fiona. No, it's been a great day so far. It was a good move. I tried the same on Craig Blake, but he wasn't quite having it. I just missed 2 gears on the first lap, missed 2 third shifts, one off the line and one coming out the hairpin, which kind of put me on the back foot, because as soon as I saw Robbie and Michael go off, I thought I could do with those win points round about now. But the 2 boys in front were just seriously quick, so I wasn't going to get to them.
So Ian, P7 finish there, and were you right in the mix of all the action?
Yeah, it was good fun. Nice clean race. No contact, just a couple of mirror scuffs, which is what you want really. You don't want any bashing around, so that was a good race. Let's try and repeat it in race 2 and 3 and just hope for more of that nice clean racing.
And you've nearly clinched the newcomers, just a few more races to go and then it should be yours hopefully.
Yeah, touch wood, that's the plan. Anything more than that, I'm not going to be fighting for anything like the championship. I think we're sitting about 6th in the championship or 5th overall, so I'm not looking for that. It's my first year in it, so if I get newcomers, I'll be happy with that. So that's all I'm looking for.
Well, congratulations once again, and best of luck for race 2.
Thank you. Cheers.
Race 2 for the Celtic Speed Mini Cooper Cup, and we saw at the back on the warm-up lap there, Hannah Chapman has made it back out onto the grid, which is great news, but poor chappers all the way at the back with Douglas Simpson. Not good at all. And look at this, a little bit of rain falls from the sky. Not that it's going to fall from anywhere else, but wipers on Garrity and Blake. Front row of the grid, we have got 4 lights, a full complement of lights. The computer now decides. Out go the lights, and a bit of a dodgy start for Blake there. He just didn't get going, and Chris Reed anticipated the start very, very well and got himself trucking down towards the hairpin. Everybody goes to the inside as we see a whole pack of minis bouncing in towards the hairpin. Does everybody get through? Yes is the answer. And that's great bit of driving from everybody there at the very back, though. Hannah Chapman, and these tricky wet conditions, they could mean anything could happen, to tell the truth. But it is Garrity that leads towards the Clark corner, with they're all fanning out behind him on the brakes. And do they all get through? Chris Reed just gets shown the edge of the track there by Vic Covey, and Ian Monroe kind of bailed out of that one on the inside, but so far so good. with horizontal ninja shower coming in from the side here. A bit of contact there with Weddle into the side of Reid, or was Reid into the side of Weddle? Well, it's all a bit tricky and it all got a little bit tight there, but Ian Bonthron made a good move there and Weddle's in trouble, and that's a shame for Weddle. I would imagine that will have broken a drive shaft, to tell you the truth. The shock of the wheel goes through the drivetrain and off at the top of Duffus. Who was that? Was that Robbie Dalgleish, or was that Robbie Dalglish's teammate? Let's just hold it here. That could have been David Gein actually, but yeah, there's Dalgleish, so that was David Gein off at the top of Duffus. And that was a pretty scary manoeuvre. Hopefully they've both got away, but look at this. It's just opening up for Mark Garrity as he heads towards Clark Corner, all on his own at the front in this tricky, showery condition. It's not letting up any of the rain, but you can see it's very sunny as well, so it is a little sun shower just now as they go down the back straight through Clark's. Adam Morrison doing well in these tricky, slippy conditions. He's got himself through towards the mid-pack as floppies go a-flying, and so do minis as they come through there. All the Celtic Speed Mini Cooper Cup cars finding the absolute limit in these tricky, damp conditions. And Weddle's car very much in a safe place here. The green flag waved by the marshals as Adam Morrison has to cut out the bottom of the track there and rejoins back at the top in front of Cameron Bryant, Hannah Chapman and co. But Mark Garrity, he'll be thinking that this is Christmas as Vic Covey has Robbie Dalgleish starting to hassle him at the hairpin. And as they go through the hairpin further back down, you can hear everybody all arriving at once. Neil Methvin looking pretty good. Where was Craig Blake going there? Craig Blake looked like he was taking a very strange, and he's not coming to view. There he is there. Very slow towards Clark Corner, losing about 4 positions in that run towards Clark through Hislops. So a problem for Craig Blake. Let's hope that that can clear and he can start making progress again back towards the front as through comes Mark Garrity and Vic Covey, Robbie Dalgleish and everybody else bouncing over the curbs. Is that Ian Bonthron in 4th place? Oh no, Garrity goes off. Off goes the race leader as they get to McIntyre's, and so does Chris Reid. He goes round, and so does Josh Hislop. Oh, and Brian, there must be something slippy on the track there. Other than the rain, there must be something on there rather than just the rain, because off has gone Simpson as well. No, it's not Simpson. That's the number 50 car. That's Andrew Bell. Sorry, Douglas Simpson, but Joshua Hislop into the recticel there. It'll be a soft landing, but something must be on the track there because a lot of minis going off altogether, and that wouldn't just be because of the rain. So maybe somebody has had something go wrong and leaked a little bit of slippy fluid out there as we pick up the whole battling group. That's Daniel Patterson, Craig Blake and Neil Methvin heading towards Clark Corner. Methvin with a bit of battle scars. He goes past Craig Blake. Craig is not working in this one. Waved yellow flag at Clark there, so we must have lost somebody on the back straight, and we're not picking up who that is. But Vic Covey comes in towards McIntyre's, and these guys now managing to cope with what's been put down and round. Goes car 21, and that's Ross Wilkinson. Oh, good grief, he's in a horrible place. And really, this is becoming a little bit dangerous, to tell you the truth. You've got to wait till the cars go past you. You cannot do a Sebastian Vettel and just decide you can join and force somebody else off the road. So Ross Wilkinson obeys that, and round to go. And the safety car boards are now out, so the marshals can probably get onto the track and have a little inspection of what that is, of what's gone wrong down there at McIntyre's, because, well, ultimately it's cost Mark Garrity. And that's actually, it wasn't Hislop. Sorry, I do apologise, Joshua Hislop. That's Jordan Brown who has gone off. But again, he went off because of what has happened to the track, not because of he wasn't the cause of it. We should say that. There you go, the marshals doing a cracking job, standing in all weathers with their yellow flag and their safety car boards. If you want to be a marshal, check out the SMRC's website, and why not have a little look up and see how you can get involved, get on track. You get closer to the action than anybody else, and when the minis are out there, you actually want to be a little bit further away than being a marshal as they make their way down the back straight. But still, the strongest supported class in the SMRC paddock, the Celtic Speed Mini Cooper Cup, as ever running on the strong Yokohama tyres, which they get and a very good field of cars, which is great to see. We do enjoy the minis. They're almost like the little Scottish touring cars. And now, let's see how this one unfolds as we are watching a safety car intervention just now in race number 2. It'll be interesting to find out if the marshals can do anything with that track, should say, the car in the gravel trap. Well, that's needing to be taken out there because Jordan Brown's car in the kind of firing line, you could say. So the recovery discovery will remove that, and we'll get going. Car number 88 going through your shot there. That's Barry Holmes, and one of the nicest turned out cars you'll see in the paddock is Barry's car, and this is quite a long safety car. As we wait for the cars to come over the crest of the hill. And here we go. Vic Covey trying to keep a little bit of heat in those tyres to the best of his ability. But you can see the track's actually kind of drying now. The rain's disappeared. That was a strange shower just at the wrong time. When you're sitting on the grid, you do not want an incoming ninja shower. They really do get on the driver's nerves, shall we say. There is another way you could put that, but not on the broadcast here. So Mark Garrity would have been sitting there thinking, oh no, and with Craig Blake as well being on the front row of the grid, a few of the wet weather specialists would have been rubbing their hands further back in the pack. But then whatever other fluid has been put down has made the track almost unraceable through there. So we have got a safety car out just now until the track can be treated by the turn workers, the marshals, and then we will go racing again. Lights out on the safety car, and we are about to go racing. The safety car has bolted, so it's Vic Covey Jr. who will take them round, and he will control the pace. A few people getting caught out there. Look at the big gaps. Adam Morrison completely caught out by that restart and has left a big gap off the back of the car that was in front of him. And here we go. Covey has now opened the taps, and away he goes over the crest of Duffy's Dip, underneath that Beatson's Building Supply Bridge. And look how strung out the minis are. Not the greatest restart by a lot of people there, whether they didn't see the lights going out in the safety car or whether Vic Covey just timed that to perfection. Round they come through the hairpin. And now, what has Robbie Dalgleish got left in the locker to challenge Vic Covey? This will be pretty interesting, to tell you the truth. Chris Reed, he wants to get back on the podium as well. And Neil Methvin with a great showing just now as they come through Clark Corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Craig Blake. Oh, he was running out of road there, but he managed to hold that just on line as everybody rumbles through the chicane. Great showing from Daniel Patterson as well. We should mention that. Currently in 5th place just now as he goes through. Makes his way up over the crest of the hill through the top of Duffy's Dip. And here comes Robbie Dalgleish. He's winding up that number 91 car because he wants to get past Vic Covey as they come over the crest of the hill, though it might not be. He's running out of time as they go down towards the hairpin. Dalgleish on the outside. Covey will hold that all day on the inside. Dalgleish will not want to get too involved with Vic Covey because he can't really afford any damage or any loss of points, but Dalgleish just threading the eye of a needle there, and that's the most infuriating thing for a race driver when in Vic Covey's position, to have somebody just sneaking past you. Oh, and there's contact. Covey drives into the side of Robbie Dalgleish. That was probably avoidable, but neither of the drivers wanting to give an inch as they go through Clark Corner, and that's put Covey back in the lead. Monroe into 2nd place, Dalgleish down to 3rd place under big pressure from Ian Bonthrone. And there's a car stopped at the side of the track in possibly the worst position a driver could ever stop on. Ross Wilkinson, I'm pretty sure, could have got that car onto the gravel possibly, but that will bring the race to a halt. And it's Vic Covey Jr. and Robbie Dalgleish with Ian Monroe, the top 3. Very tight stuff at the end of that one with Bonthrone, Patterson, Blake running out the top 6.
action-packed race. Was there a bit of oil out on the track that everyone just kept slipping off?
No, it was strange. It rained and it was only wet in 2 places, McIntyre's and at the hairpin, but McIntyre's the worst. And people were just still trying to turn off the curb, which is lined for the dry, and it was just like ice. And you saw it with I think it happened with Craig on lap 1, which caused the incident with Michael, and it happened with Mark a bit later on. So from that point in, I was just, I'll stay well clear of that, and we'll try and get our head down. And we did, we got away. I was well clear, and in the greasy conditions, I had the pace just to drive away. Safety car came out, which didn't help us, and kind of backed us in, and sort of feisty last lap, we managed to hold on to the lead.
And Robbie was trying hard to get past you.
Yeah, he got a really good run on the last lap coming out the hairpin. His car's got a bit of the legs on mine in a straight line, and he got the run, but he just didn't quite complete the overlap. And when I've got a sniff at a win, I'm always going to try and have it. So I just released off the brakes a bit earlier and managed to get back up the inside.
And is there anyone you want to dedicate that win to?
I probably should dedicate it to my wife and your sister, Fiona, seeing as it's her birthday. So happy birthday, Louise.
Thanks, Vic. Well done, Robbie. That was a stunning opening lap from you.
Yeah, pretty good start. Just sent it around the outside. I've done that before. I think my best one was 6th to 1st, so not quite as good, but we'll take that definitely. Taking championship lead again, 19 points in front. So it's kind of just Mr. Sensible to the end of the year, and then hopefully wrap it up.
And you managed to keep the car on track during those tricky conditions?
Tricky conditions and tricky contact from several drivers, yeah. So it was pretty hard going, but I did my best and we brought it home second, so yeah, we'll take that.
Good, well, keep plugging away at those points.
Yeah, we'll do. Thanks.
Thanks, Robbie. Anna, you're back. You've had a tricky first race, but you've made up for it in race 2.
Yep, I am back. I've had a warm welcome. Everyone's got pretty cosy on the back straight in race 1, but race 2 went a bit better. I finished it to begin with, but I moved up the pack. I think I finished in 13th, but I'd love to say it's from talent, but it's mainly from everyone else falling off. But you know what, it's just nice to get a wee bit.
To say it's talent.
It's all talent, yeah, absolutely. Totally planned that. So we'll just see what we can do in the last race. We're down on straight line speed, which is frustrating, especially when you're trying to go up the hill and you've got nothing. So just trying to give it everything in the corners, but there's only so much you can do. So we're just going to make the most of it. I'm grateful to be here, and it's a huge thanks to my sponsors, Ram Tubulars, that I'm here in the first place. So just got to enjoy it. It wouldn't be worth it if I'm sitting in a corner crying about it. So
you're here as a guest this weekend because you're racing down south. How's that going?
Down south, we're getting there. We're back on the pace. We had a rough start to the year, but everything's coming together quite nicely now. So now that we've got the pace back, we're hoping the results will follow. Had a little bit of bad luck at the last round at Croft, but we're at Cadwell next weekend, so just really hoping I can qualify further up because it's quite hard to overtake there. So
Cadwell's a bit like Knockhill, so you should be fine.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Fingers crossed.
Well, best of luck. Thank you. Ian, good to see you back on the podium. How was that race?
Yeah, it was a bit weird. It was like 2 different countries. Going down to hairpin, torrential rain, and then dry, and then rain again, so folk were spinning everywhere.
We did wonder if there was oil out on the track because people just kept spinning off, and we just thought, was it Michael's engine that had gone? No one knew.
Yeah, no, just a big, a tiny rain cloud over one corner. Yeah, so no, I just kept it on and kind of managed to pick folk off, or they fell off, and it was all right. Yeah.
So P6 has just been drawn for race 3, so does that mean you're starting P3? So third?
Fourth.
Yeah, your maths as good as mine.
I'll try my best again.
Best of luck.
Cheers.
Right, Robbie.
Race number 3 for the Celtic Speed Mini Cooper Cup sees Craig Blake and Daniel Patterson on the front row with Bonthorne and Munro row number 2. Remember, this is the reverse grid. Look at that, though, all the way back on 14th, Mark Garrity after that disaster in race number 2. But bonus, we have got nice blue skies, a little bit of cloud, but a dry track, which is important. Out goes the 30-second board. The next board will be a smaller version of that, and it will be a 5-second board. There she goes. Now, lights start to come on. This is computer generated, held for a random amount of time. And out we go down towards the hairpin. Patterson looks like he might have got the initial jump there as they head towards the hairpin. And all the marshals look on. There's contact in the mid-pack, and that's Michael Weddle going down the grass and just manages to, well, through a bit of luck, skill and I'm going to call that skillage, actually. Well done, Michael Weddle. You managed to hold that down, and I don't think he lifted out with that either. But the leaders are already at Clark Corner after the coming together in the mid-pack, and Craig Blake has the lead. Look at this, they're all fanning out behind. Daniel Patterson has been kind of beaten up on this lap, and Neil Methvin in the mix as well. They're looking pretty good so far. Where is Robbie Dalgleish? And we know Weddle's at the very, very back. So Michael Weddle is going to need a miracle here as Dalgleish is in second place. He tries to go up the inside in towards McIntyre's nice and early on Craig Blake. Did he finish the move? No, he didn't. Blake covers that move as they come through and head up the hill. But look at that, Dalgleish goes through at the top, and who's this? This is Michael Weddle. Oh, good grief, Michael Weddle. Very not shy of lifting off an accelerator pedal when it gets very tight, is Michael Weddle, as they go onto the main straight and head over the crest of the hill. But he has got a big recovery drive here. They're three wide, Munro, Blake and Bonthron as they come through the hairpin, and Munro shows Blake the edge of the track. Oh, Hannah Chapman, round she goes, and that looked like she was pushed or collected, and that wasn't good. That was Jordan Brown there in the 87 car, who we saw in the gravel trap earlier on. And McIntyre's in race number 2, and right now as it stands, it is Dalgleish and Blake pulling away. At the front is Neil Methvin. No, it's not. It's actually not Blake. Blake made a mistake, didn't he? Got shown the track edge. It's Munro. And look at that, Methvin in third place. A fabulous showing from Neil Methvin. And he gets done over straight away by Craig Blake and Daniel Patterson having a look. And Ian Bonthron having a look. And there's a waved yellow flag. You can't overtake when there's a waved yellow flag. Yes, hand in the air. Now, is that a safety car, in fact? Oh, yes, it is. Safety car boards are out. You can see Michael Weddle with his hand in the air there. And that will probably be for Jordan Brown. In fact, no, it's not. We missed that. That's David Gein into the tyre wall. Or did that happen after the safety car boards went out? Well, there's a good bit of clear-up work to be done here. And we're racing again. That was a good clear-up. Nice and quick as we go over the crest of the hill towards Duffy's Dip. Towards the hairpin, force of habit, and it's Robbie Dalgleish who leads the way. Craig Blake slides back up the inside of Ian Munro. Munro will once again repay the favour on the exit of the corner. And round they go. Ashley Morris fighting with Adam Morrison. Back there, Battle of the Northerners. Well, Morris would win that if it's distance travelled, that's for sure. Coming from basically Thurso, and up the inside goes Ian Munro. And he makes that stick in the Celtic Speed Mini Cooper Cup. And he made that move look pretty tasty, but pulling away at the front. This is how he likes it. And this is how any race driver really likes it. With a bit of clear track behind you, you don't have to focus on your mirror. You can just make sure you hit every apex that you need to do and try and pull away and pull a handsome gap and let everybody else worry about what's going on behind you. As they go over the crest of the hill, Dalgleish looking pretty good past where his teammate had an off. And Neil Methvin on the outside of Vic Covey Jr. there, giving Vic Covey Jr. a hard time, and Chris Reed dives towards the inside of that. And can he make that stick? Can they both do Neil Methvin? As Dalgleish gets through the hairpin, yep. Covey and Reed both past Methvin, and it looks like Bonthron is about to have a shot on the exit as well. In the Bonthron Security Services number 76 Mini. And this is quite a calm mini final, although we have seen one safety car intervention already. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And Michael Weddle is one of those cars. He's the 6th car in that line. Pretty impressive stuff, considering it was a pretty bad start for Michael Weddle. He was last after that coming together on the main straight. Weddle goes underneath Patterson there, and he does that, and that was pinpoint precision, although Patterson loses a bit of momentum coming out of McIntyre's there. And onto the main straight we go. So Michael Weddle, who was last, has worked his way through the field and is showing pretty good pace in this one. He's got a bit of track to catch up to the back of Mark Garrity there, who we can see going through. Garrity, Methvin, Reed and Covey. And already he's taken half that gap out of them just in one corner. So definitely arriving with a bit of speed as we go on board with the young man now. Just listen to this. Yeah, like that. Brake, launch it down the gear, head over the curb, and then steer it through the corner. with as much gusto as you possibly can, as everybody else takes a big intake of breath and bounces through the chicane here at Knockhill Racing Circuit. Chris Reed, as I said, welcome addition back onto the paddock and on the grid, and showing good speed as he's all over the back of Vic Covey Jr. just now. And here comes Weddle. He tries to go around the outside and he's lost a little bit of ground there, but he'll be picking up some sort of toe. Who does he go with? Does he go left? Does he go right? Does he try and go round the outside? He's going to try and follow Garrity through here, that's for sure, because Garrity looking quite good on the brakes. But Neil Methven, strong on the brakes. He doesn't want any contact there, but he certainly didn't shy away from it. And he's now side by side with Michael Weddle as they head towards Clark's. And we have Robbie Dalgleish on his own at the front. Ian Munro unable to make any inroads at this stage in the race. And let's have a look down at our Edinburgh Watch smart timing screen and see who has the fastest lap, as Daniel Patterson gives us heart failure coming into view there. But right now the fastest lap is by Ian Munro. No, cancel that. Michael Weddle, 62.2, and that would make pretty good sense because Weddle is on a flyer. As we once again go on board, there's a mistake from Garrity. Will he go round the outside? Yes, he has. Garrity's going to have to concede that to him or try and give him a little bit of room. Weddle onto the main street has a little look over and a cheeky little wave there. And that was just a mistake made by Mark Garrity. And a little bit of momentum lost. And through goes Michael Weddle. And Craig Blake just drives into the back of Ian Munro. And I'm pretty sure he won't want to do too much of that because you have got a radiator in there. And you don't want to be puncturing that, me old boy. Heading towards Clark's, we see Bonthron homing into the back of Craig Blake. And still, Robbie Dalgleish leads the way. There's a bit of debris on the track there. And it did look like one of those cars was heading for it. Wonder if the marshals will manage to get through and remove that as we come back through the twisty sequence of the chicane, Butchers, McIntyre's area. And this is where it becomes super, super important as you come through here. We saw the last lap what happens if you make a tiny mistake and it really hurts you. And Mark Garrity made that mistake and he paid the price on the straight. As the checkered flag pops out and it's a win for Dalgleish. It's second place for Munro. Blake does come home in third just from Ian Bonthron, with Vic Covey Jr. in fifth. A good recovery drive by Michael Weddle sees him finish behind Chris Reed in 7th place. And all down the field, the rest of the minis coming home for a cracking third mini race here. The Celtic Speed Mini Cooper Cup, over and out.
So Ashley, you've had a difficult day.
Yeah, very difficult. I think race one was my fault. There was a wee squabble with a couple of guys in front of us and I lifted because I just didn't want to get involved, but I lifted at the wrong place and spun myself. Race two, I am personally of the opinion it wasn't really my fault, but it doesn't really matter. Race three, just sort of had a pep talk from like literally everybody in the paddock, just saying just go for it, and just wanted to keep my nose clean and, you know, smile at the end of the day, really.
Well, you've got a smile on your face, so you've done well.
Yes, I think everyone's pretty pleased with that one. I mean, it wasn't like an amazing result or anything, but it's better than where we were this morning. So
It looked like you had a good battle out on track anyway.
yeah, and it was good. Nice, clean racing.
At least you're going home with a smile on your face, so well done.
Yeah, it's a shame the car's a bit damaged, but that'll fix.
We've got one more round to go, it's fine.
Yeah, perfect.
So second overall there, but you couldn't quite take it to Robbie.
Nah, I couldn't. He got me on the safety car, and I thought I was ready for it, and I wasn't.
Half
and he got away
asleep.
from it, and he got, well, no, I didn't think it was, but he got away from me. And then I couldn't pull it back in. He's probably stretching out a wee bit more, and then just try to hang out second after that.
2 podium finishes, pretty happy with that?
Yeah, it's all right, because it didn't feel like very good today, so I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Are you back out in October?
Yep, back out next time.
See you then.
Cheers.
Well done, Robbie, back on the top step of the podium. You made that win look easy.
Yeah, I got a pretty good safety car restart there, and then that gap was just gone. Ian had people on his tail, so that just made my life a lot easier. I kind of thought I'd just nothing could go wrong. And then the rain started coming on a wee bit, but it didn't affect the car too much, so it was fine. Just delighted with that.
I think it was more psychological rain because it didn't seem too heavy out on the pit wall. But
Yeah, it's just that annoying rain that hits your windscreen and then you're like, oh, how long is it going to take to slow the car down? But no, great weekend. Really happy with it. Been a lot of contact and stuff this weekend, but the main thing is everyone's going home this weekend, you know. It's been a pretty dull weekend for motorsport with Anton Hubert. It's actually flashed up on my memories today that 8 years ago I was racing with him in France, so it's pretty hard to see, but at least we're all going home happy.
does that win for him?
Yeah, we'll go with that, yeah.
We'll see you next time in October.
Cheers.
You've had a good day.
I have had a good day, and it's going well. That's 4 podiums in the last 5 races, so yeah.
It's not 6.
6 races.
6
Aye,
races.
yeah.
That's good. Good
So,
going.
Yeah. So no, pleased with that. And John Duncan was like, right, the time is now. Just send it. And I was like, don't put too much pressure on me, John, like you usually do. But no, I got a good start, and you know, seen Robbie coming, and I thought he's coming quick, so he's out to win, obviously for the championship. So, but he got past fair and square, and you know, we can't ask any more than that for clean racing. So no, fair play.
Do you feel a difference in yourself since you've got your podiums? Because you look quicker and more aggressive out on track.
Yeah, a lot more confident, and I think more sort of headstrong on where to make the moves, and not thinking, right, I'll make a move now and that could be the end of the race. Just to actually bide my time a little bit, and what I wasn't doing before, and then make the move at the right time, which is important, and bring the car home in one piece, which brings prizes. So no, it's good. It's good.
Good, well, we'll see you again in October.
Yep, final time out, and let's go have some fun.
You'll have me as a teammate.
Yay! Thanks, mate.
Cheers, Greg.
Seat. There we are.
So, Ian, another newcomers podium for you there, but you nearly had the overall podium.
Yeah, it was close. I really like Craig. We got on well, and he's good to race with. And I could have maybe tried a couple of fast moves and maybe got there, but there's no point in risking it. You know, at the end of the day, we're here for newcomers, and we've got that. So quite happy to go home in one piece.
And you beat your teammate as well, Mark Garrity, who's a former champion, so that shows you that you are getting quicker and you're nearly going to get that podium win.
Yeah, hopefully through time. I mean, obviously Mark had a couple of wee incidents, albeit it was his own doing, but these things can happen. If Mark didn't have that, obviously he would have been up there. So yeah, but no, I'm happy with how things are going, and we'll do the last meeting of the year and then come back next year and see what happens. So yeah.
Perfect. Well done. See you again in October.
Cheers.
Thank you.
See you.